Hello, Flosstube. My name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches. Hold on one second while I adjust this camera a little bit. Sorry. I should have done that before. This is my Flosstube update number 222. Nice round number. Would have been great if I'd recorded episode 222 on February 22nd, 2022. Would have been a festival of twos. But anyway, it's episode 222, and today is Saturday, February 26th, 2022. This is a channel about cross-stitch, and let's get started, shall we? For the month of February, which is almost over, just a couple more days, just today is Saturday, so there's just Sunday and Monday. So I basically had something of a fail, I guess, this month in as far as meeting all my goals go. For February, I had 4 projects, and 2 of which I hoped to complete. The other 2 were WIPGO goals that I hoped to meet. And actually, if this month were, 30 or 31 days, I probably would have met the WIPGO goals. As it is, I might meet one of them, but not both of them, unless I sort of double them up, And I don't know if that's technically cheating, if you will, or not, whatever. Because it kind of, everybody WIPGO thing is their own, I guess. So, Anyway, so I had, I'm doing winter cross-stitch camp, and the challenge for that was to do a monochromatic pattern. I'm doing the I Love to Stitch challenge, which is basically stitching every day for the month of February. That's one goal that I'm currently meeting. And then WIPGO. I had two whips that I was on my WIPGO goal list. I had written 10 days for each one. And I'm currently at 8 days for each one. There's only 3 days left. So, yeah. And then a personal goal I had was to stitch the February Rabbit to finish it by this month. Because of what I want to do is stitch one of the Rabbit charts each month this year. So let me start with the winter cross-stitch camp project. One of the challenges behind this, besides stitching a monochromatic design, one of the challenges was to see if you could finish it by the 28th. And I was very confident, that I could stitch this by the 28th. And if this were the only thing I was working on, I would have finished it quite some time ago. But so as it is, it's about, I guess, maybe 3/4, 2/3 of the way done. The birds are done. The strawberries are done. This is Gathering Berries, sorry. Gathering Berries by Misty Pursel, Luminous Fiber Arts. And it's 2/2 on Lugana that I dyed myself, this purpley color. And this is I don't know if it's Classic Colorworks, I think. Yeah, Classic Colorworks Bing Cherry is the color. So I did half of the border, and I ran out of thread down here, and then I decided to do something else. So I've stitched both of the birds and the strawberries and this one flower thing. And so there's 3 more little, this is the, so there's these 3 little thingies. And up here, I did get buttons, but I think I'm going to stitch, one version of the chart has, you know, you could stitch it without the buttons. So I think I'm going to stitch it without the buttons. So I have these 3 little doohickeys down here. This flower and leaves thing. And I forgot about that. I have that still to go. And then there's 3 up like this up here. And then I have the other half of the border. So, like I said, I'm about 2/3 of the way done stitching. So I don't know if I'm going to finish it. If it was, like I said, if it was the only thing I was doing this month, I'd have finished it a long time ago. So, yeah, I got about half the border done. And like I said, I'm missing those other designs here. And there's a big, branch with leaves and flowers here. And then 3 more of the designs there. So I'm still working on it. But I don't know that I'm going to finish it. So the other thing, this one that, again, it was just my own personal goal, was to do the February Rabbit. I've already done the January one. I did the January one last summer, and the other ones came out last year. So I wanted to finish them this year, one each month, right? So this is the February one, not quite done, obviously. This is a darker red color. There's a motif right here in the middle that is this same color that goes here. And then there's 3 more rabbits and all the little heart-shaped flower things. And hold on one second. So yeah, this is probably a quarter of the way done because I set it aside to really concentrate on the other things. So this is by Ink Circles, Tracy Horner Ink Circles. And yeah, so I've done just one corner. I finished everything in the one corner. Oh, except the bunny, he has some stitches inside his ears right here. And I guess his tail, I don't know if he's, yeah, there's some stitches on his tail, that I didn't do yet. So, yeah, it's not even a quarter of the way done. But, like I said, this is kind of my own personal goal, sort of a floating goal, if you will. So, there's that, not done. And then my WIPGO goals, this was number, I think 5 and 17, I believe. But so this is Peacock. This was a kit, a DesignWorks kit by, and the designer is Nicola Gregory. So this was a kit, came with the Ada, white Ada, and it's a really pretty design. I really like it. But I took the white Ada and I dyed it this same purpley color as the Gathering Berries, but lighter. Yeah, the color is kind of washing out on the camera here, but it's a light purple. But so yeah, I this one I worked on 8 days. I had started the light blue color last time I worked on it years ago, and so I take it out of the hoop, but I did all the dark purple, and I finished all the light blue. There's like a few more motifs that I had not done yet. I think this one down here, yeah, I had not done any of this one. And then I finished all of the light blue and all of the purple that's in this area. There's like one purple thing way up here. But so then I started on this darker blue here. You can barely see it next to the purple, but this darker blue, you can see it out here, these isolated things. And there's, you know, another shade of blue, a couple shades of purple, a couple shades of blue, I think, and, you know, like that, and greens and a little bit of white and so on and so forth. So it's very, very colorful, as you can see. So, yeah. So the goal on this one was to do 10 days, and I've done about 8. So, but it's coming along very nicely. It's just, you know, I don't know whether or not I'm going to hit the goal. And then the same thing with this. This is Voyage of Discovery, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, Columbus's ships. So, and this is 2/2 on Lugana also, that I dyed myself. I have people who have seen, who've been watching my channel for a while know that in 2018, the first time I did Whipmania, I took 4 ship patterns that I have, four tall ships, you know, lots of sails, you know, and all that. And I dyed this fabric color the same way for each one. So they'll, if I ever finish them all, they'll all be on similar fabric. But anyway, so the goal on this was 10 days also, and I've done 8 days. But I've finished this sail. There's like a few, like this stitch and this stitch and this one are individual stitches that are, you know, there's a lot of back stitching that connects, you know, connects the rigging here. For, I think this is one sail and this is another sail here. You can tell by the yard arms. So, but this stitch, I almost made a big boo-boo. I went through and I was stitching these dark brown things here. You'll see some of them are individual stitches and some of them are like 2 stitches vertically, right? So this is the 1 yard arm and this is another one here. And then there's this one here is part of the, I guess, part of the structure of the sail. But the crow's nest and then this yard arm up here. So I was doing this dark brown because I kept accidentally running up against, you know, when I was doing all the white here, kept running up against, like here, you know, I'd get to the bottom stitch of these vertical ones and going, wait, is that a white square? Or, you know, because all I was doing was white. I had done all the gray stitches that you can kind of see them up here a little bit, but I was working on all the white stuff. And so I thought, well, I better put in the brown, the dark brown, to finish the yard arm so that I know, you know, like where to stop, right? So I had a piece of brown, a length of brown thread left over. So I was doing this down here. And I also had done like, I guess I had run out of thread up here somewhere, so I hadn't finished this, some of this stitching here. So I went back and I was doing that, and while I was at it, I, you know, did some other stitches here. So the ship goes down here. So I was looking at it, and I realized all this white here uses the same symbol, right? It's a empty square with just a single black dot. And this chart is so old that, you know, it's handwritten. It's a handwritten chart. And so I was looking at it and I thought, well, there's some of these, you know, this black dot stuff down here in the body of the ship. And I thought, is there white down there? I don't remember that, you know, and for some reason I didn't do it, haven't done it yet. So I was like, well, that's odd, you know, so I'll, you know, next time I have a new thread to start or whatever, length of thread, I can work on that. So I was almost done with this sail here, and I thought, well, do I do this cloud over here, or should I go down here and work on the white that I didn't do, right? So I was gonna go down here, and so I was sort of looking at the chart, and I had made a working copy of this chart because this is the original, this is the chart, and it's on cardstock, but it's printed directly on the cardstock, and so right here, you know, it's folded in half and in half again. So it's folded, you know, like this, and then in half again, you know. And this corner right here, I thought that's going to wear out in no time, you know, with, you know, folding over. And part of the chart is back here, right? So I thought, well, that's just not, you know, that's very unwieldy. And so I, you know, my sister and I went down to FedEx and I made enlargements and then, you know, working copy so I could, you know, scribble on it or color on it, whatever. So the piece of the chart that I've been working on is, you know, about like this part of the ship, and then, you know, and then like here to here approximately. So at one point a long time ago when I was working on it, I knew about, you know, that these red crosses were on the sail as well as this red pennant. And when I was working on the chart, I was working on, you know, this gray, one of the grays down here, and I was looking at it, I was like, why is there, you know, the symbol for the gray, why would it be up here? And so I looked at the chart more closely, and I realized it's not, it's red. Because the chart being printed so long ago, part of it was in black and white, and part of it was in red, and they used the same symbol in some of those, so that you have, you know, a black plus sign and you have a red plus sign. And the copies that I made for the working copies, I, you know, had just done a black and white copy. I hadn't even thought about the fact that some of it was red. And so at the time, I went through this highlighter and just colored in, you know, like where, like these are all part of that red printing, right? So I just marked it on the working copy that I had, and then, you know, because it's not really very many things, so I was able to just, you know, do those. I think there's like 3 symbols or something like that. Well, like I said, that was some time ago, and I've been doing white on the sails because I had, you know, done all the grays and all that. So I was just doing lots and lots and lots of white, you know, just up and down, you know, just lots and lots and lots. So, but when I was looking at it down here, one of the things that clued me in is I was looking, there were 2 little squares over here, and they had like double vertical dots, you know, dot dot up here. And I'm like, I don't remember that symbol. Is that a typo, or is there another symbol that I didn't realize? So I looked at my my handy dandy little chart with the with the symbols on it. This over here, and it had in this chart the double white, the double dot symbol, but it also had, of course, the red areas here. And I remembered, oh yeah, it's in red. So in red, there's a red dot here, single dot. But in the black and white stuff, there's a dot here also. So I had to go through, the chart again. Well, I had, like I said, I had enlarged the chart, and so I have multiple pages of the chart, and on one of them that has the lower part of the design, the ships and the water and the nameplate, I had gone with the highlighter and marked them off. But on the page that I was working on for this part, I had not marked off the ship. And down here you can see part of this is brown, and part of it is this one of these terracotta colors, So yeah, I narrowly averted disaster because I almost stitched in white down here. And if I hadn't sort of looked at it methodically, like, how am I going to do that? Or am I going to, am I going to do a new thread? I'm going to skip over parts or whatever. If I hadn't taken the time to look more carefully at it, I would have stitched it in white, and then I would have realized my big boo-boo, and, and had to pull it all out or whatever. So thankfully I didn't do that. But anyway, that's a long way to say that that I have to be more careful, and I have to actually mark that other page, so that I know what's in the red stitching, what isn't. But so after this is again 8 of the 10 days. So I should have put as my goal finish the sail, because then I would have met this goal. But so I don't know whether I'll get 10 days on either of those WIPGO projects or not, but yeah. So that's where I am for my February goals. I have not met any of them. So I still have today, part of today, and Sunday and Monday to do something. So I don't know if I'll finish any of those, but probably at least one of the WIPGOs is gonna I can get the 10 days in. I don't know if both of them, and I don't know if I can finish the winter crustage camp project. So I don't know. I'm not broken up about it, but I am kind of mildly disappointed that I didn't hit any of my February goals yet. And I may or may not, But anyway, so that's February. March, I have coming up, they've called the March numbers, and one of them I had just written New Start on there. So I had decided to do the March Rabbit as my New Start. And I think I had on there 10 days or something. So if I work on this for 10 days, I should be able to finish it. Maybe I'll finish this and finish that February one. I don't know. But this is the March Rabbit. And there's 3 little bunnies there, and big coneflowers, I guess, and some tulips. Yeah. So I'm hoping the other one I have is on 32 count Murano Carré in the color on that is Pink Splash. This was material I got at Hobby Lobby. they have like several in different colors. And so this is Pink Splash. You can just see the little pink splashes of color on there. It's basically a white or an off-white color, I don't know, with these little splashes of very faint pink. So this is the February color. And so they make several colors. So I haven't looked to see what would be appropriate for the May one. I have to sort of do a floss toss kind of thing and see what's going to show up well. All these models, I think, were stitched on shale linen by Picture This Plus, and they were all done in 36 count. I'm doing all mine in 32 count, so I'm trying to use a shade of Murano Carré for each one. So we'll see how that works out. So I bought one of each of the colors that they had there at Hobby Lobby some time ago when I first envisioned all of this. And so I have to see if I haven't picked a linen for this yet, but I have to see if one of the ones I have is appropriate. So this is right now technically one of my WIPGO goals. There's another chart that I told my sister Eve that I would do for her that I might start instead. And I haven't picked a fabric for that one either. But, and she bought some of the threads for, I think some of them were not available. We were at the attic some time ago when she bought this other pattern and threads. And so I'm going to take a look and see how that pattern stands. But for now, this is the pattern that I chose for my new start on the it's I think number 15 and number 21 were the numbers that were called. I don't know, but this is one of my numbers. So that's March Rabbit. So like I said, among my WIPGO things, I had 3 that were I just wrote new start on there. So, and then the other one that was called was, I think, was number 21, and that was this Dimensions kit. Oopsie, sorry. There. Winter Gathering. This is the Dimensions kit. You can see the little birds sitting on I guess a telephone wire, I don't know, with their stockings and their hats. It's really cute. Oh, so it came with Ada, and I want to say, yeah, a light blue Ada. I don't know if I think I just used it as is. But I did the little wire thing all the way across before, and the little part of the one of the shades in the stockings. The stockings all are, have different shades and whatever. But I happened to have that orange color out, so I did what orange I could because I had done this wire, so it gave me a way to count. And then the trees back here are done in half stitches. And I saw somebody had posted about when you do the half stitches, you should do the stitch the same direction that you use for the top stitch of your X's, right? And I didn't do that here. I used the lower half because that's the half of the stitch that I do first. So yeah, so theoretically though, all of these half stitches should be the other way. like I stitch bottom left to upper right, or that direction. I might go this way or this way, but it's that direction. And then the top X goes the other way. So theoretically, the half stitches should be this way. And they're not, they're this way. I don't know that it makes a big lot of difference, but I guess if you're looking at it up close, you could see that, but yeah. Anyway, they're gonna go this way because that's the way they are right now. Yeah. So anyway, so my WIPGO goal is, I believe, 10 days on this as well. So we'll see how that goes. So that's my other March goal. So if I have the March rabbit and that as my WIPGO goal, I should be able to meet the goal in March that I didn't do in February. But actually, I don't have that much more to go. Excuse me. Sorry. That much more to go to finish the February rabbit, and to finish up the all the February stuff. We'll see how that goes. I may just quit. I may continue on. I don't know. So before I get to the haul portion of this video, I wanted to say thank you, and you really didn't need to do it, to my viewer Theresa. I did a giveaway a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Christine Jorgensen, I think, had sent me a picture of a kit that she wanted to give away, and I made a little fob to go with it. And so Theresa was the winner of that kit. So she sent me a lovely little thank you note, as well as a chart. This is May Roses. It's a Twin Peak Primitives design. Excuse me, that's what I get for taking a drink. And this is from Stitch Toolbox in Canada. And, I got an envelope from Canada, and I thought, what the heck is that? But I didn't order anything. And I opened it up, and I was like, oh, that's nice. This is from Theresa. And it had this kit in it. She has an Etsy shop, this Stitch Toolbox person. She on Instagram, she is at Calado, Calado 0066. Stitch Toolbox is the name of her shop. So I got this in the mail. May Roses is the title of the design. Let me get sorry about the glare there. Really pretty little sampler, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And then it says, I think, May down there. Yeah, so that's really pretty. And this is, like I said, a Twin Peak Primitives design. So thank you very much, Theresa. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. Okay, so I think last week I talked about this jackrabbit pattern from Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is number 3 of A Year in the Woods, right? So this jackrabbit, I had seen this chart on Cheryl McKinney Tranquil Stitches, had shown this chart. and I debated with myself whether or not I wanted the other charts in that series. I think there are a total of, I want to say, let's see if it says. I don't think it says how many there are in the series. Sorry about that. Talk amongst yourselves while I look at it. I should have looked at this before, but I don't see anything that says how many there are in this series. Probably 12, since it says a year in the woods. So that's number 3. The Jackrabbit is number 3, and I'd seen before the other first two in the series, and I debated whether or not, it's like, do I want all of them? I'm kind of a completist that way. Do I want all of them? I don't know if I'll stitch all of them. But so I was at the attic today. I was back at the attic, so I got, this is number 1, the fox, and I love this one as well. And then number 2 is the Swans. Oh, that's really pretty too. So yeah, these use a mixture of Gentle Arts and DMC. And Weeks Dye Works, yeah. So last week I think I talked about that I got the fancy floss, because I have, pretty much all of the DMC colors, I think. So I got these for the Jackrabbit. They recommend 2 skeins of aged pewter. This is this color, and then lilac. I think I might have had this already, but I wasn't sure, so I went ahead and got it. Well, so these call for Grecian gold and chalk, the fancy floss colors. There's some DMC colors as well. Excuse me, sorry. And then this one calls for burnt orange and chalk. And it calls for, if you do it 2/2 on 28 count, which I will probably do, it says that it'll use 2 skeins of chalk on here. And I want to say 2 skeins also on this one of that chalk color. And of course the attic didn't have chalk. It was out of that color. And but burnt orange I got, and I think that was it, that they didn't have chalk, and they didn't have Grecian gold. That is the other color, and they didn't have them. So I don't know whether or not I have those colors. I kind of don't think I do. I have a lot of Weeks Dye Works, but not a lot of Gentle Arts or Classic Colorworks colors. Not as many. So yeah, I don't know that all that I have those. I have to look and see, and I may just order them on 1 2 3 Stitch or something. But so while I was looking at, as I told my sister, I did a very dangerous thing. I went to the attic without any specific, colors or patterns or whatever that I wanted to get. When I went the other day for the Jackrabbit, I had ordered the Jackrabbit, I think from 1 2 3 Stitch, and so when I went last week to the attic. All I needed were the threads for that, so I got them. And so I got away with just paying very little. Maybe I got the jackrabbit pattern at that time there at the store. I don't know. Did I get that? No, I ordered it. I didn't buy it there. But anyway, so but I had written down the numbers of the thread that I needed. So I bought that and a project bag. So I think I only paid like a little over $13 or whatever. So so I got away pretty light because I thought I'm not gonna buy. I don't have any patterns in mind that I want to buy or anything. And so all I bought was those 3 skeins of thread. Well, I made up for it this week because I bought those 2 patterns, the swans and the fox, and as well as some more threads. And I bought this pattern. This is Cottage Garden Samplings also. Look at that Santa with the big old beard and this deer on his coat and a bag, and there's a cardinal up there. Look at that. So Christmas Eve is the name of this chart. Yeah. A Time for All Seasons series number 12. So there's 11 more in this series, but I just like that Santa. That's beautiful. So Bayberry is one of the colors. These are Gentle Arts colors, Gentle Arts and DMC. So Bayberry, I was looking for there, and they didn't have it. And Rose Garden is that red, and it recommended 3 skeins if you're doing 2 over 2 on 28. So I went ahead and bought 3 skeins of it. And I don't think I had that color. But anyway, so like I said, they didn't have Bayberry was one color that they did not have, and I don't know whether or not I have that color. And then, as if that wasn't enough, I bought Hedgerow. This is Plum Street Samplers, and it's one of their series of little stacked animals. So this is 3 little hedgehogs. There's 1, 2 little tiny one, 3. I love all of these stacked animals, and I have Llama Lump. I only have that one. There's every time I see a new one of these 3, I think, ooh, I want that. But so far I've sort of restrained myself. So, but I just couldn't pass this up. Look at those hedgehogs. Look at them. They're so cute. So this one calls for pea pod and pine needles. These are classic colorworks, in addition to some DMC shades. And so they did not have pine needles, but they did have pea pod. And I think I have this color already, but I went ahead and got it, as long as I was there buying threads. But so I don't think I have pine needles. So it's another one on the list. And then I bought another project bag because, these they have them there at the attic, and they're cheap, and and even though, like I said, we have them in our Etsy shop still. Like my sister Naomi says, I'm like the shoemaker's son. I don't have my own. I hate to because my sister is the one that sews them. My sister Eve is the one that sews them, and she's making them for our Etsy shop, and so I hate to commandeer her. They're making one for me. I have a couple that she's made for me, and I have some fabric for another one. Whenever she gets around to it. and then I have like a tote bag thing that she made for me, with some of that fabric. So so it's not a priority for me. So I buy these, and like I said, they're cheap. They're like $3 a piece or whatever at the attic. So I have no problem with that. So also, I went to Hobby Lobby this week, I guess, this past week. And I bought this little box. It's just one of those magnet boxes. For just I'm trying to organize all my stitching stuff, and so yeah. But so these are the buttons that I bought for that gathering berries thing, and I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to use them. I think that pattern calls for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these buttons, and then there are a total of, I think, 4 or 5. I think Mr. Pursel just actually talked about one more that she has in that series. I think she has gathering berries, gathering acorns, gathering. Oh, I can't remember. It's a green one, and then gathering snowflakes. I can't remember what the green one is. I don't remember. But I want to say there's one more. I don't know. Anyway, there are buttons on each of these patterns. So I went ahead and bought the buttons, and like I said, I still haven't decided. I don't know. Like I said, I kind of like the way they look without the buttons, but I don't know. And then I bought some more fabric. This is the Artiste. This is the Hobby Lobby brand. There's Zweigart. So one of them is 28 count even weave. And the reason I bought this is because I gave a thing of fabric like this to my sister. So I bought this to sort of replace it. Because it's a larger piece. It's 30 by 36 inches of 28 count. This is even weave. And so, and then this is punch needle cloth. So it's 20 inches by 24 inches, so it's a good size. And I don't know, because I was thinking about, it's like kind of like an even weave. So I was thinking about using that as just sort of a to stitch on rather than a punch needle. I watched a Vanna Pfeiffer tutorial, and I feel like I understand it more than I did before. I just, I've been busy stitching, so I haven't done it. Although I want to, I really want to. But yeah, so I haven't done it yet, but I intend to. But anyway, so yeah, that's. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is that on the Flosstube channel that I have with my sisters, the Three Sisters Creative channel. That's the name of our Etsy shop, by the way. Three Sisters Creative, and but the three of us have a Flosstube channel, for those of you who might not know, called Sticks and Strings. And we talk about all the different things. My sisters talk about, sewing and quilting and knitting, and then the three of us also talk about cross stitch or whatever else we're doing. Like my sister Naomi does spinning, and some weaving, a little bit of weaving, and lots of sewing and quilting and stuff, and knitting, and and then Eve has talked about quilting and sewing and cross stitch, a lot of cross stitch, and I pretty much only ever talk about cross stitch. Eve and I make a few needle minders and scissor fobs, And so we've talked about those as well. Anyway, so the project bags and needle minders and scissor fobs are on the Etsy shop, as well as some patterns that Eve has designed. So anyway, on the sticks and strings video, like I said, we talk about all those things, anything to do with sticks and strings, and and so that channel, we have on that channel we have just recently hit the 200 subscriber mark, and so we have a little giveaway for our subscribers. And so if you are interested in that giveaway, on tomorrow, on Sunday the 27th, we'll be releasing a video on the sticks and strings video that talks about that, hitting that 200 mark, and the giveaway on there. And we have we're going to extend that giveaway for a couple of weeks, so that you have time to reply that if you're interested in it. So anyway, so if you will watch the sticks and strings video that comes out on the 26th, you'll see how to enter that giveaway if you're interested. And so we did hit our 200 mark, yay! And on this channel, I'm pressing on toward 300 subscribers. So if you know anybody who isn't subscribed yet, encourage them to watch and subscribe. And if you yourself have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and the little bell for notifications will let you know whenever I release a video, and that's typically Saturday. It's been late afternoon lately, just because that's when I seem to get around to it. Because I love you all, but I ain't getting up early in the morning to do this. So Saturdays, like I said, is typically when I release a video. So I think that is it for me. Lots of stuff that, I'm very happily, plugging away, trying to hit all those goals for, this is my first year doing WIPGO, and it really helps me a lot, because I have lots of WIPs. I have at least I don't think I have 25 exactly, except that now I have, I started the February rabbit, so that has become a WIP now. But of my old WIPs that I had not quite 20, not quite 25. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I had, not quite 25. WIPGO. Yeah. So, so I had 3 that were, I just wrote new start in the box. So anyway, but it's helped me work on those old WIPs. Even though I had originally set my goal as 15 days for each one, realistically, some of them I changed so that I, had just, finished this part, or finished the WIP because it's almost done or whatever. So I went through and revised my goals on some of them. So the ones that said, just 15 days, I pulled it down to 10 days, and I may revise it further as I look at my WIPs and what's more practical. But anyway, so it has really helped me sort of, strive toward those goals. The winter cross stitch camp was for fun, and like I said, I don't know that I'm going to hit that goal. But I was also doing the embroidery.com I Love to Stitch challenge, and that was to stitch every day for the month of February, and I've done that so far. So it's good and it's bad. It's bad just because I haven't hit the goals that I had wished I'd hit. But I have 3 more days: today, tomorrow, and Monday. So do something, I think. But yeah, so I think that's about it. So hopefully March will be a little bit better. I don't know. Remains to be seen. I'm sure I'll find something else to do in March that'll, monkey wrench my plans. But anyway, so I think that's about it. And I'm about to run out of time here pretty soon. I think I'm gonna hit the wall here. But I will see you all next week. We'll see how my March plans are shaping up, and how things go from there. In the meantime, like I said, go watch the Sticks and Strings video that'll come out on Sunday, and you'll see the what we're doing for giveaways for hitting the 200 subscriber mark, which we did just the other day. So, and I will see you next week. And so keep stitching. Thanks. Bye.